It's a little bit more suited to my body type. I grew up figure skating. So having the larger lower body type and the smaller upper body is a little bit more natural for me. And I've been really working on getting into my leg days more, which has been a lot of fun because I can really lift with my leg days. And I'm really looking forward to that this year. I did qualify in the figure division last year to go to North Americans. So I will be attending North Americans in Pittsburgh in August. I also plan on competing both regionally and nationally in Canada this year in the wellness division.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Like, but before we go into the
Yep.
divisions, like how did you get into bodybuilding?
So this is, to me, the cutest story, and I told it to the person that inspired me, and she was very surprised many years ago. When I was 16, I was a figure skater and coming to the end of that career. I was competitive in what they call synchro, which is the team skating that you see. And it was time to move on. I jumped into the gym and watched a family friend lifting and bodybuilding. And I said, I want to do that. So I did. I watched her and I mimicked everything she did. She had a phenomenal physique. She's a nurse. She's a very inspirational woman to watch her train. And I looked at it, we had a board. And at that time, and there are numbers now that, we put to shame, but there was a women's board for top lifters. I wanted to make that board. So her name is Eve Rice. And many years after I started to get to national level, when I told her that she was my inspiration, she was quite shocked to find that out. But that's how I started bodybuilding. I was 16 years old and I needed some place to put my drive and my ambition. And it went into the gym.
Was this bodybuilder competed or anything like that?
I don't know if she ever actually competed. I think she really just liked the challenge of it.
Okay.
I don't recall her ever competing.
Okay. How long you was training under her?
I didn't really train under her. I don't think she even knew that I was watching her.
Oh, wow.
So when to clarify something. So when I was 12, I started coaching figure skating. When I was 16, I achieved my figure skating pro status as a coach and continued in the figure skating world till I was 18.
Okay.
So I took what I had learned as a figure skating coach and started to take those biomechanics and apply them in the gym. And I just started learning everything I could read, everything I could find, to grow my knowledge base. Anybody that would answer a question, I would ask them, how do I achieve this goal? How do I achieve that goal? And I started out 100% all on my own drive, my ambition. And I would buy every book I could find and just start learning. So the first book I ever bought was Corey Everson.
Yeah. Corey Everson.
We all remember that one.
Yeah, Corey Everson will do it to you. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I went that book cover to cover.
Yeah. Yeah. I Corey Everson Muscle and Fitness magazines.
That's right.
You see the newsstands and pick it up. And that's when I first met her and Linda Murray. Yeah. And then there's one thing about Corey Everson, he stood out because she was in movies and all that stuff, and she's
the real deal. Like she inspired so many women.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, Was that your favorite bodybuilder? Like, do you had other favorites
I would,
beside Cor?
I think one of my favorites. And I've also done my posing training underneath her. And have watched her grow in her career, and we all know her very well. Someone else I admire a great deal is Mindy O'Brien.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And I've
I'm
told
not
her
really
that I
familiar
think she's
with
a
her.
phenomenal woman. So Mindy
I'm not
O'Brien
familiar.
is,
Okay.
she's Canadian,
Okay.
and she's probably one of the most successful Canadian bodybuilders that we've ever had. She's not only successful on the Olympia stage, on the Arnold stage, but successful in the fact that she's a beautiful person.
Okay.
So I admire her from all angles.
Yeah. I mean, the Canadian bodybuilders. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. You know, I don't know. Are you familiar with Melanie Horton? She's she's in the bodybuilding division. She was in physique, but she's been
Yep.
bodybuilding for a very long time. Yeah,
Yes, she
yeah,
has.
yeah. So
So I've
this
had a lot of people that inspired me. But I think the greatest people that inspire me aren't bodybuilders.
okay.
They're the people that I see that face everyday challenges. I've never had to face them. I've never been largely overweight. Genetically, I am very gifted in many ways. I still have to work at it. But the people that inspire me most are those with the greatest struggle. The people that you may never see them on a stage, but when you see them in real life, they're what truly remind me of how lucky I am to be able to do what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like there's like people that were like overweight, and then just decided to wanted to like lose the weight majority of the times.
Lose the weight, come back from severe health issues.
Yeah.
I would say another example of that, a good example of that is actually my son. My son at a very young age was stricken with an illness that took his ability to walk. They didn't know he'd walk again. And my 5-year-old learned through a lot of pain and suffering how to walk again. So the days that I get up, I'm tired. It'd be a lot easier to sleep in. It'd be a lot easier than to walk away from the diet. I remember my little boy who they didn't make him any promises of a full recovery, who's now 24 years old and a proud member of the Canadian Armed Forces.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I see your picture. I seen his picture of him in a wheelchair when he was a kid, and I think you were beside him in his uniform and stuff. Yeah, military uniform. What's the name
That's my boy.
name of the branch that he's in Canada?
So he is a proud member of our Canadian Armed Forces, and he
Oh,
works in the
okay.
artillery unit.
Okay. How long he been doing?
He has been a cadet, a reservist, and now is a full member of our reg force.
Yeah.
Since he was 12.
All right. Shout out to him. Yeah. Well, we got
I'll
people
have
in
to
the
let him
chat.
know because he's not. I'm gonna have to send him the link to this so he can
Yeah.
see, because he is my greatest supporter and reminds me of how proud he is of me. He has no idea how proud I am of him.
Yeah. 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 What's his name? If you don't mind me asking.
Not at all. His name's Tyler.
All right. Shout out to Tyler. And we got people on the chat. Balls Deep, Schmo Gang. Good evening, gorgeous. He's a
Hi,
character,
thank you.
Chicago. In here, smash the like button. Appreciate that. Peace and blessing. His favorite of all time, make me a moderator. And, you know, all the rage George Page, hello people, and all the rage George Page has a comment. Leg day is like the episode of Chappelle when Rick James was at Eddie Murphy's house. F your couch, Eddie Murphy. He just likes saying that. I don't know if you ever tune into the Chappelle show.
Yeah, I
But
have, and I'm a big fan of Eddie Murphy, so that's
okay,
pretty
all
good. I
right,
like that.
all right. As long as you understand, he
I
likes saying that.
actually do. That is really, really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, so like so you started off figure. What made you want to do figure and move to to wellness?
So I've actually been so when I initially started competing, I competed in figure, but then actually transferred to bikini because my body type wasn't matching up. I needed some shoulder growth. I needed some development on the overall. As I did take an overall in bikini, in master's bikini, and then made it to top 5 in the Canadian level. However, I took a couple years off. I put some work in, and in my return, it was recommended that I move to the figure division. And I've had a fair amount of success there. I've been repeatedly top 5 at the Canadian level, and I've placed 9th at the North American level. However, it's been a lot of work to keep my legs smaller. I couldn't really give in and train them like I'm capable of. So I last year finished out my year in the figure division, and then as my off season came on, knew that it was just time to change the training over. It's also brought a little bit more balance to my life, in that my body feels a lot more balanced, and my training feels a little bit more suitable to my body style, my body type. So I made the decision when the wellness division was created, but it did take a couple years for me to start that transition.
So you got big. So you have like bigs, like your quads are big.
Yep.
Okay.
As a figure skater, I was very quad dominant. So if you let me go back to training legs, I can grow them. I can grow
Who's
them
your
quite
coach?
quickly.
Or who's your coach that trains you?
I'm currently operating on my own.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah, you're a fitness trainer. Yeah.
I have a fair amount of credentials behind me. I also am lucky enough to have enough friends in the industry that I don't need someone to sit over top of me and create all my programming. I am more than disciplined enough to understand what I need to do and when I need to do it. And what I do now is I do a tendency to reach out for help. So when I'm struggling with something as I'm moving forward, I do have enough. I've competed long enough now to have enough connections that I ask for help. And, I'll send a friend a progress picture and say, I see this, and this problem. This is the program I'm running. Am I missing something? Can you give me a redirection? As far as stage work, I do need to reach out. Last year I was working with Mindy O'Brien. I do plan to reach out to her again to continue this season, hopefully. But I've worked with a number of posing coaches, some phenomenal, absolutely amazing Canadian talent that I'm honored to be involved with. So I am currently my own coach. I have worked with Jason Green in the past. He is an amazing coach. I can't say enough about the opportunities he brought to my table. But it's now time for me to break out on my own and to push myself. I'm very driven, so I don't need someone to tell me to get up. I'll do it myself.
And how long you been coaching, if you don't mind me asking?
Since the age of 12. So I started coaching
Oh,
figure
age
skating.
of 12. Yeah, age. Well, I
Yeah.
meant bodybuilding. That's what I was.
Bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So bodybuilding has been about the last, I want to say, oh, what, I'm 48, so I'm gonna go, oh, probably since about 24, 25.
Oh,
I've
wow.
had like a side job of coaching bodybuilding and specializing in strength and conditioning. I really do love to see people recover and do well in life. But I also
Yeah.
love coaching competitive athletes. So I have put people on stage very successfully, but I've also put people in the ring very successfully. I've also put jiu-jitsu artists into international competition and on the mats.
Hmm. That's interesting. Wow. All the way, George Page. When you do turn pro, will you wait to make your debut or jump in the next year?
That's a really good question. I honestly don't know. Right now, um, my goal for 2025, and my 2025 has started out absolutely strong and amazing on every angle of my life, is to get pro status. I'll make that decision when the time comes, seeing what my physique looks like, how do I measure up, and if I need to put in the time, then I'm going to put in the time. But I'm going to have to evaluate that at that time.
Yeah. Well, let's look at some pictures. Yeah. You also do modeling a little bit, of course.
Yeah. Um, I have been
Was you?
asked on a number of occasions to do some modeling. I find that a pretty big compliment when you're above 40 that people want to take pictures of you. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. What was like in your first show, like in front of people? Like, were you nervous? A lot of people there.
Oh, my first show. My first show was rough. Stage presence is something I struggle with a great deal. So my first show, I pretty much tripped over my own 2 feet the whole time. I still trip over
Oh
my own
yeah,
2 feet.
that you mentioned that. I think I seen you like trip or something. One of the clips.
Yeah, if you watch the North Americans, the video for North
Yeah,
Americans,
yeah,
you can see a
yeah,
stumble. You can see my nervous stumble as I came out.
yeah.
And
Let's check it out.
all you do, and this is years of figure skating and falling down and getting back up, is whether you stumble or
Yeah,
not, you're still on the stage. You smile and you keep going.
yeah. Can you see it? Yeah, yeah. I see the little
Yeah,
trip.
you can
I
see
mean,
that.
it ain't
Yeah,
a
that
big
little.
deal. Yeah, it ain't a big deal. You held your balance. I know you was a little nervous, but you held your balance. Not
That
bad,
was my first time at North Americans, and when I came
Yeah,
out ninth, um,
you look nervous a
I
little
I,
bit.
I was
I see it.
floored.
Yeah, you do look a little bit nervous. There was this woman, um, um, when I was at the OCB, I was at an OCB show, and she was a bit stiff. I think it was like her first time there, and she lost a lot of pounds. I think she lost like 155 pounds. You
Wow,
know,
that's impressive.
don't quote me too much because I'm not really accurate. Yeah, but yeah, the announcer was saying it to everybody, and everybody was cheering for her stuff. But she was a bit, I think that was like her first show. Yeah. Uh,
It's
I
yeah,
mean, I don't
hitting.
think that was a big deal. Like too much.